Hi guys, my name is Kat, and in this video I would like to talk about edges. I want to show you what's your inside edge, what's your outside edge, and how you can learn to really skate on them, because we need them for everything. So have fun. Okay, so skaters always talk about edges, and coaches talk always about edges. Why do we have edges, and what do we mean by edges? So if you would look at your blade from the front, you will see that it is hollow in the middle. So you have one edge on the left and one edge on the right side. These are your edges. So when I would stand now on 2 feet and I would shift my weight towards my left foot, I'm now standing on my left outside edge. Yeah, so it's my left outside edge I'm pushing towards. If I go onto the other side, I'm standing on my right outside edge and actually on my left inside edge. All right, so this is how we change our edges. I can also do that on one foot. That's my outside edge, and that is my inside edge. All right. And the more you lean towards or into the edge, the smaller your circle will be and the more fun it's gonna be. Yeah, because that's what makes skating so incredible, and any sport where you have speed with it, because you can go off balance without falling. All right, so let's get started. Okay, so you really want to start on 2 feet first, just to get a feeling of your edges. So I have my cute little circle right here. We take a little bit of speed, just skating forward. Now you go onto 2 feet and try that your arms go towards your circle. You bend your knees, again, your hip is bent, my chest tries to go forward, and I'm standing now on an outside left edge. I take a bit more speed because I'm running out. So, standing on my left outside edge and my right inside edge. Do it obviously on both sides, so you get the feeling on both sides. What is my left outside edge? What's my right inside edge? You can also slightly shift your weight a little bit just to feel it, what's happening with your feet. Okay? And if you are in an ice rink where they do not change skating directions, big recommendation from me, if you know the owners, just tell them, hey, after half an hour, why don't you ring a bell or something so everybody skates the other way, because usually we have a problem to practice both sides, but that's just a little recommendation from my side. The same we obviously do backwards. So you go skating backwards, a little bit of speed, hug your circle, pushy from the outside, stand now on your backwards, right edge, inside, left edge. You will notice that when you go backwards, or if you're leaning towards your circle, that the inside leg will have more pressure. And that's good, because that's where we first start to try and be on our outside edge, because lots of people are afraid of the outside edge because they naturally like to stand like this when they go the first time on the ice. So we definitely want to avoid that. We do want to get to know our outside edge because that's a fun one, all right? So one good exercise is also just to do your swings, so you are actually changing your edges, right? So we go on 2 feet and we swing from one side to the next. All right, bend your knees, go up, bend your knees, go up. It's always like this wave movement that you want to do. Nice and easy. Stay front with this little part, okay? And here you're standing on your edges. The same we do backwards, obviously. Now, when we are going backwards, don't go onto your toe picks, okay? That's where you will lose all of your speed, and you definitely don't want to stand there. You want to stand a bit more on the middle foot of your shoe, okay? That's where you can swing nice and easy. If you are too much here, you will automatically go onto your toe pick. So try to be a bit more upright. Then you can feel your edges easily. So now it's a time where we want to try and stand on one leg. I would like you to be able to skate already on one leg straight. That would be very good, so you know how to balance before you actually try and start to be on one edge on your one leg, okay? So when it comes to arms and where to place them, there are obviously, again, a million different opinions. So I show you both versions, and it's always good to practice both. The one I usually do first is hugging my circle. So I have my left arm, sorry, the other left, my right arm in front when I'm going on the left circle, and I do out of the T position one little push, and I try to stand in a bent knee on my circle, right? And you might feel that it's turning, yeah? Because when you pull your shoulder back, this is the start where you then want to do your 3 turn at the end. You can also open your arms. This is where you will not turn towards the circle. So I have now my left arm front, T position. I go into my circle and I hold my circle. If you're standing too much on your heel, which usually happens when you are not with your chest enough forward, when you lean back and if your hip gets too flat, so your hip flexor is not here bent, then you go onto your heel, and then this happens. You go onto the heel and you start scraping the eyes. Yeah, so that's when you're too much in the back. You need to try and find your position on your foot a bit more towards the front, okay? So we are pretty much middle to front of like your ball, okay? That's where you want to be when you go forward. That was the outside one. Now we look at the inside one. Inside we start again with the T position, hugging my circle. Same thing, hop. I'm standing here in my position, nicely, just feeling where I am. Here, you can again change your arms, have the left one in front, push. And here you will find probably that you can stand a bit easier than this position, because that one will lead into your forward inside 3 turn, all right? With all of them, it's very important that you don't drop your hips. Keep the hip up. What I mean by that, let's look at it from the inside edge. When I'm on my inside edge, when I let my hip fall, problem. Yeah, I go into the circle. So you really want to be here where your hip is up. Yeah, so your hip bone is pointing to the outside. Don't let it drop, because then you cannot hold this edge. The same on the outside. Here, my hip bone is pointing to the outside. Don't let it drop here, because you will have a problem to stand on your outside edge. So obviously we do the same thing backwards. It's easier if you just take a bit of speed before and not just do it with one push. So we go backwards, we're skating backwards. So what I'm trying to do here is hold my shoulder back a little bit, And now I'm lifting my leg and I'm going on my outside edge. Yeah? So this is actually your exit position from jumps, from your spins. That's what you really want to practice a lot. So of course we do the same on the inside edge. So we take some speed. You can come if you want from a crossover. Yeah? Lift your leg, be on the inside. If you open this, you will see that you have a not such a tight circle. Yeah? It will be more flat. If I go with my right arm to the front, I will have a tighter circle. This is, by the way, also a bit like the entrance to your spin. Okay, when I go backwards here, this is my entrance to my spin. So I'm practicing here my inside edge. So you see, your edges are pretty much everywhere because skaters skate on edges and not straight forward. That's why it's super important that you learn how to stand on those edges. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to write in those comments down below, and don't forget to follow our YouTube channel, and I'm happy to see you in the next video.